Do you ever lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, just worrying about what comes next? It feels like every time you unlock your phone, there's a new prediction screaming for your attention. The stock market is about to crash, AI is coming for your job by Tuesday, or the political landscape is shifting under your feet yet again. It is loud, it is relentless, and quite frankly, it is exhausting trying to outsmart the future. Welcome to the show. Today, we are taking a step back from that noise. We are condensing the wisdom of Morgan Housel's masterpiece, Same as Ever. Most of us are obsessed with predicting the changing world. We want the crystal ball for 2030. But Housel argues that is a fool's errand. Instead of asking what is going to change, we should be asking the question Jeff Bezos famously loves: what is not going to change? Because while we can't predict the stock market or the next election, we can predict how people will behave. Fear, greed, tribalism, and overconfidence, those are going to look exactly the same 10 years from now as they did 100 years ago. To understand why predicting the future is so impossible, Housel points to the fragility of history itself. He tells the story of the Battle of Long Island in 1776. George Washington's army was cornered. The British fleet was ready to sail up the East River and crush the American Revolution before it really began. But then, a heavy fog rolled in, just a bit of random weather. That fog concealed Washington's troops, allowing them to escape in the dead of night. If the wind blows differently that night, the United States of America likely doesn't exist.
History hangs by a thread. The biggest outcomes are often determined by the smallest, most random accidents. And this leads to Housel's terrifying definition of risk. Risk is what you don't see. The events that actually change the world, like 9/11, the 2008 crisis, or COVID-19, were never in the top 10 risks forecasts the year before they happened. If it's in the news, it's already priced in. The real danger is the surprise. So if we accept that the world is chaotic and unpredictable, how do we navigate it? Housel suggests we stop looking at spreadsheets and start looking at stories. We like to think we are rational calculators. We think the best data wins. But Housel argues that in the real world, the best story wins, always. You can have the most accurate engineering solution or the perfect economic policy, but if you can't wrap it in a narrative that makes people nod their heads, you will lose to the person who can. Valuations, bubbles, and market movements are just numbers from today multiplied by a story about tomorrow. If you want to understand the economy, don't study math, study human behavior. But there is a trap in our psychology that we have to watch out for, and Housel calls it the expectation treadmill. We often look back at the 1950s as a golden age, but by modern standards, those families were poor. They had tiny houses, no AC, and bland food, yet they seemed happier. Why? Because the gap between what they had and what they wanted was small. They compared themselves to their neighbors, who had roughly the same stuff. Today, we compare ourselves to the top 1% on Instagram. We get a raise, we buy a luxury car, and for 48 hours, we feel great. But then the dopamine wears off, the goalposts move. Housel gives us a brutal equation. Happiness equals results minus expectations. If your expectations rise as fast as your income, you will never be happy, no matter how much money you make. You cannot win a race where the finish line moves every time you take a step.
So what is the ultimate strategy? How do you build wealth and stability in a world driven by random risks and emotional stories? Housel suggests you need to become an optimistic pessimist. It sounds like a contradiction, but it's the secret to survival. You need to save like a pessimist, be paranoid about the short term, assume the economy will crash, assume you might lose your job. That paranoia forces you to keep a cash buffer, ensuring you never get wiped out. But at the exact same time, you must invest like an optimist. You have to believe that despite the short-term chaos, humanity solves problems and the long-term trajectory is up and to the right. Think of it like a marathon runner. You have to be optimistic about crossing the finish line, but paranoid enough to watch for potholes at mile 3. If you break your leg at mile 3, it doesn't matter how optimistic you were about the finish, you're out of the race. That is the core message of Same as Ever. Stop trying to predict the wind. You can't. Instead, build a better shelter. Focus on the behaviors that never change. Manage your expectations so they don't crush your happiness. And build enough room for error in your finances to handle the risks you can't see coming. If you can survive the bad years, you earn the right to enjoy the golden decades. Thanks for listening. If you want to master the psychology of your own future, go pick up Same as Ever. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.